Hello, everybody. Welcome to part two of the review. It's me, Tyrone the God 3, here with SwaggerBoi. SwaggerBoi.
Shit.
Alright, so yeah, like as we were saying, they are really generous in this game. This game gives you items for weird reasons. Hi, I like the way you look. Have potions.
Yeah.
Bianca gives you Pokeballs, and normally the when you start off the game, it's common for your friend or whatever, like one of the non-playable characters or your friend to give you Pokeballs to start your journey. They
Right.
usually give you five. Why? Because they know you already have a Pokemon on your team, and the average trainer can carry up to six Pokemon. So
The
they give
average
you
trainer.
well, all trainers. So they give you five in order to fill your team up,
Mhm.
assuming that you're going to keep those five. But this game, Bianca gives you freaking 10 Pokeballs.
Yep. And then gives 10. No, she gives to your rival in this game. She gives him something. Oh,
A
an X transceiver.
Pokedex. No. No, she gives him a Pokedex.
Oh, I thought it was an X
She
transceiver.
gives him a Pokedex. She's like, okay, the rival's like, I want a Pokedex too. I need to get stronger. And then she literally says, well, I just so happen to have another
Oh
Pokedex right
yeah.
here. What? Okay. I believe you.
I'll take it.
Oh, yeah. What do you think of the rival, by the way? You only get one rival this time instead
Well,
of two.
in previous games he was a dick. He was just basically like, "Oh, you're never gonna beat me." But in this game, he's more optimistic as far as doing the right thing. He's like, "I'm gonna free all the Pokemon, and I'm gonna be Jesus."
No. Okay, here I'll explain. The rival in the first games, Red, Blue, and Yellow, obviously Gary, or the one people call Gary, he's a dick.
Yeah.
There's no like, okay, every time you meet in a new area, he's the one being there. Like, I've been waiting for you. You're still behind. Yeah, he's a dick. The second rival is really interesting to me because one, he's Giovanni from Team Rocket's son.
Mhm.
He's the son of Giovanni, and he's a super dick
Yeah, it's Team Rocket.
because he no, not just because that. Actually, he hates Team Rocket because he thinks ganging up on people is a punk move, which I agree with.
Yeah.
But he's a dick because he feels like if a Pokemon's weak, it's useless.
Well, that's what training is for.
Yeah, he doesn't really. He realizes that towards the end of the journey.
Well,
And
as
as you notice, like you'll notice things like Go Battle evolve in a Crobat, and Golbat can only evolve in a Crobat if it's like happy with its trainer. So
Mhm.
as the game progresses, he slowly learns. Okay, I'm being a dick. I'm sorry, I won't be a dick anymore, and that's towards the end of the journey. Um, Generation 3 Pokemon Emerald, Ruby, and Sapphire, your rival is basically just the character you didn't pick. Like, if you picked a male's character, then your rival's a female. That's all. She's not that interesting, or he's not that interesting, depending on what character you pick. The rival's not that interesting, so there's no reason for you to. I didn't care. Like, the rival would occasionally come by and battle you or give you some
Mhm.
items, but it wasn't that interesting. The rival in the fourth gen games, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, was Barry, and he was just Barry. He was impatient. He wasn't rude though. He was just goofy as all hell. That's the best description I can give you. I'm sorry. Then we've got Sharon and Bianca, and they had stories of their own. Like, Sharon's conflicting,
Mhm.
like whether or not he wants to be powerful, but that's all he wants is just power. He's not a dick. He's just thinking analytic. He's thinking. He's basically thinking to himself, if I have more power, then I'm more of an important trainer, or I'm a better trainer with that. Bianca is through a conflict of not knowing what she wants to do in life because, she makes a lot of mistakes, and her father literally is trying to bring her home. So yeah, and then we've got Hugh. Hugh is upset because, and spoiler warnings here for those of you who haven't gotten this far, his Pokemon his Pokemon Perleon that he caught for his little sister was stolen.
Right, and he's just
And
basically
right,
upset.
he's worried about people losing Pokemon. He doesn't want to have others feel the same way he feel. However, he's going at it the wrong way.
Right, he's going at it aggressively.
He's so aggressive with it. He's punching Team Plasma members.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised at that too. I was like, did he just punch a Team Plasma member? No, you don't fight in this world. You use your Pokemon.
Well, on the DS, it looked like he just ran his whole body into him.
Yeah, in the DS, because his sprite just bumps into his. And
Espeon.
And the other sprite just flies away. Boom.
Which is funny anyway.
Okay. What'd you think of Neo Team Plasma, the black Team Plasma?
I don't know if I've seen it yet. Seen him yet?
You've seen him.
Have I?
Yeah, you battled them on the harbor.
Oh, yeah, I sure did.
All the Team Plasma members you've battled so far have been Neo.
Oh.
Yeah, they're black Team Plasma members.
Racist.
Well, not black people.
I know that.
Their Team Plasma split up when you beat them in Pokemon White.
Right.
And in Pokemon White 2, they reformed because Jetsis reformed them.
Mm-hmm.
And only this time, instead of trying to free Pokemon from people, they're just trying to rule the world now. They're basically Team Rocket clones.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just trying to rule the world. That's it. Now, what they're doing, well, what they're trying to do, we're not going to spoil, obviously. However, there are white Team Plasma members, and what those were, they're Team Plasma members who have retired and have decided to help you instead of hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the good guys. They really wanted to set their Pokemon free. They were the ones who were really doing it not for Jetsis, but they were doing it for themselves. They knew, hey, I treat my Pokemon wrong. We keep them contained in Pokeballs. This is wrong. And that starts up this mental conflict of what is and isn't right. Is it okay to keep Pokemon contained in Pokeballs? Is it okay to make them fight other Pokemon? We've been doing it for years, but is it right?
I mean, it's not really. Pokemon fight, but they're not.
They're not.
They're not people.
Yeah, well, that's wrong. Animal abuse for the win, Darian.
No, I'm not saying.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
They don't. Yeah.
I want to say you're comparing Pokemon to a boxing match. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Pokemon. I mean, people could be like, I'm gonna go shoot this guy after this fight. If I lose.
Yeah,
but Pokemon, I mean,
there's a difference between a fight and an all-out brawl, like a fight for sport and you just fighting someone.
Right. Pokemon are more like, okay, let's do this. Whoever wins wins. Shake hands afterwards.
Right. It's more. It's more of a sport.
Right. Even in the TV shows, the friends battle each other's Pokemon.
Right. And they're like, "Are you all right?" And
yeah.
It's the equivalent of when Goku and the others are at the World Tournament in Dragon Ball Z. They're fighting for fun. They're not fighting to kill each other.
Right. I just killed Eggleam.
And after that, you Eggleam, whatever.
Duosion. I haven't seen that yet.
Anyway, so yeah, that's the moral of it. And literally, the trainers will go back and forth from talking to you about taking care of your Pokemon. And some Pokemon only evolve when they're happy with their trainers. And so yeah, the Pokemon need us just as much as we need them in this world. At least I think.
Well, at least in the Pokemon world, because they don't exist in this world.
Well, I mean, obviously not, but we feed them berries and give them potions and take them to the center. Hell, there's free healthcare in the world of Pokemon. So
yeah, it seems like the world of Pokemon is a lot simpler. I mean, you leave at age 10, go on an adventure.
That's because robbers don't exist. I mean, they do in the form of Team Rocket and stuff, but the worst they can do is challenge you to a Pokemon battle.
Well, yeah, I mean, and then once you beat them, they're like, we'll get you, blah, blah, blah. But those are that's the only...
Speaking of free health care, once you battle this Nurse
Dixie,
you can heal your Pokemon every time.
Spoiler alert, it's in Celestial Tower.
Oh, yeah, Celestial Tower. I mean, yeah, but like they did that in the last game too. Like if you battle nurses and beat them, then they'll heal your Pokemon for you.
Yeah.
See, and that's another example of what we're talking about. They heal your Pokemon after the fight. They know that you've been through a battle, and they know your Pokemon got hurt.
Not
So
only a battle, but especially in Celestial Tower, you go through at least 6 trainers before you get to her.
now, okay, what do you think about that? By the way, what do you think of like nurses healing your Pokemon in dungeons and spots where the Pokemon Center is like all the way back in the town?
Very, very, very convenient. I mean, I could blow my cash on a bunch of potions and whatnot.
Yeah, but it's kind of convenient to
Yeah.
just. Sometimes I feel there's too many of them though.
I mean,
Like they're babying us.
it's helping us.
It's helpful, but okay, like there's just a abundance of them. It's like I didn't even walk 2 steps and there you are.
Yeah, that is true.
But yeah, okay, it has its pros and cons. I like it. Um, Here's one thing that's sort of nitpicky, and I think Brain Scratch Coms brought it up. You don't know about them. I'll tell you about them later. But they brought it up. Ted said that
Gosh darn it.
there was so many excuses for why you can't go to separate spots in towns. Like for example, when you're in Celestia City or whatever it's called, that city that looks like New York.
Right,
That
all
big
the buildings and
Every
yeah.
time you try to go any further than it, there's something in your way.
What do you mean?
Like, I tried to go forward, and I couldn't go forward because a bunch of crystal were blocking the way. Those little
Oh yeah.
hermit crab things. I tried to go to the other bridge. I can't go to the bridge because the bridge is under construction. I try to go all the way to the other area.
Yeah, they kind of force you to do the storyline. Yeah.
It's forcing you to do this gym now so you can get to the next event. And I know why they did that. They did that because you know how in the older Pokemon games you needed to use HMs to use like strength,
Like cut and
yeah,
stuff
cut
like that.
and
Yeah.
strength to move stuff out the way. Well, you don't need HMs in this game for real. They're optional. They're like you don't need to go
Right.
to certain areas unless you don't want to.
Mhm.
So when you see an obstacle or an area you want to explore, you can use strength or cut or whatever in order to get there, but it's not necessary towards the story.
Right.
Like, it's an optional area you can explore. The problem with that is, now that you don't have HMs, you don't need HMs, they need to think of reasons you can't move forward in the game without getting a certain badge, so they make up all these excuses.
Right. Right. Well, yeah. Like Twist Mountain. You
Yeah,
can't go to Twist Mountain.
is under construction. I'm like,
Yeah, it
what is
collapsed.
all the
Yeah.
fucking construction in Unova?
Yeah. I mean, like, didn't it just get redone for this game?
So many of the bridges are under construction.
Oh yeah, like what's the name of that bridge?
That big, I can't remember right now either, but it's the big bridge that leads to Castelia City if you're coming from the woods, if you're coming from Pinwheel Forest.
Mhm.
Yeah, because normally in the original game, you come from Pinwheel Forest, then you take that long bridge with the cars driving under it, and then you'll be in Castelia City. But now you can't take that bridge anymore because it's under construction.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But all in all, I do give the game a 10 out of 10.
You're going to give it a 10 out of 10 right off the bat.
Yes.
Well, I'm not
Well, that's only because I've been a Pokemon fan for years, and
I've been a Pokemon fan for years too, and this game has it. It has some drawback, but the pros definitely are gonna outweigh the cons. This is, by my standard, I think this is one of the best Pokemon games that has existed so far.
yeah, I've kind of debating within myself. Like before this game debuted, I was like, will it be a repeat of the first? Like just basically tit for tat.
Right. Well. Okay. Pokemon have this pattern. It has this pattern of usually making like 2 games, and then the third game is literally the first 2 games only with better graphics or
Of
enhanced
course,
things.
right.
Okay, like Pokemon Red and Blue came, then Pokemon Yellow came, and Yellow is basically Red and Blue. Only you can Pikachu's behind you every time. You can get Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur. You can catch different Pokemon, stuff like that. Pokemon Gold, Silver came out, and then Crystal came out later, and it had advancements that Gold and Silver didn't have. Ruby Sapphire came out, then Emerald came out, which
Mm-hmm.
was basically the same thing, only with the Battle Frontier and battle tournaments and yada yada. Then Diamond and Pearl came out. Then they came out with Platinum, which was the same plot, same thing, just
Mm-hmm.
enhanced graphics and different areas you can explore. Black and White come out, and instead of coming out with a gray version like everybody was expecting, uh, Black and White 2 come out.
Right.
And I really like this step. I was wondering why it took so long for them to make another Pokemon game after Black and White was done, and this is the reason why. It isn't just a sequel. It isn't just an expansion pack like the other ones were. This is a true sequel.
Okay. Yeah. It's not just a mixture. It's a
It's not
new
right.
story.
It's not the
Yeah.
same journey with new bells and whistles. This is a completely different storyline, just using the same region. So yeah, that's pretty much my synopsis on that. And I like this route. I really like this route. Like, I wish they could do this with all the generations. Like, I wish they could remake like the Kanto region, but have a different plot. Cause I played Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Fire Red, and Leaf Green so many times. I know the Kanto plot back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to play the Kanto plot as a completely different trainer. And yeah, you technically can when you play Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal, because when you beat that game, you can go to the Kanto region and battle them. But I mean, like, a completely different type of journey. Years could pass in the Kanto region, or they could take the Johto region and do that formula.
Yeah. Well, that's all up to
It's up to Game Freak.
yeah. It's up to
Um,
Japan.
yeah. What do you think of? I had this in my head before. What do you think of? Mm, darn. What else did I have in my head? What's going on right now on screen?
Well, pretty much fighting Umbreon here.
Uh,
Having trouble because I don't have any Pokemon that is weak against.
right. What's
So
the dark type? Do you have bug type move? Same
I was
with me.
just about to do
Okay, there
that.
you go. So yeah. Other than what do you? Oh, I have to explain this, and SwaggerBoi doesn't have it, so I'll explain. On the 3DS version of Pokemon Black and White 2, there's a sort of DLC type thing where you can download this, and it's only about $4 or $5, so it's not expensive. There's this thing called the Dream Radar, and what the Dream Radar does is allow you to shoot these little clouds with a laser. You work with this scientist, and this scientist develops this item you can use to like shoot dreams. I mean, shoot dream clouds. When you shoot the dream clouds down, you can get items. You can find legendary Pokemon like Thundurus, Tornadus, and Landorus, but you can find them in their beast forms, not their god forms.
Hmm.
Yeah, because they come in beast forms now. So yeah, just be on the lookout for that. And you can also catch several separate Pokemon and get them in their dream abilities instead of their regular abilities. So it's a nice little expansion pack. It takes away some time, and it's just a little fun expansion upon the game that you can do. I really enjoyed it. Another thing to note is the challenged modes of the game. If you beat Pokemon Black or White, you have White too. I have Black too. If you beat Pokemon White 2, then you get this mode of the game called Easy Mode, where you can play the story again. Only this time, each of the trainers use weaker Pokemon and less complex strategy. If you play Black 2 and beat it, you get Challenge Mode, which is the harder version of this game, where the trainers have stronger Pokemon and stronger levels. Now you're probably
Survivor.
thinking, how do I do that on White 2 then? If you can transfer that key to White 2, and at the same time I can transfer that key to Black 2.
Oh,
So
so
you
you
can,
can get easy
yeah,
mode and
we
I
can
can't.
both
Okay.
get each other's keys.
Which
So
is
yeah,
convenient.
overall, I'm giving this game. I might as well agree. I'm gonna give this game. As far as Pokemon games, I haven't had as fun of a time with this game as I have with like the only other game I've had as much fun with is Crystal. So I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 myself. This was Tyrone the God 3.
And SwaggerBoi.
Uh, Pick up Pokemon Black and White 2. It's a fun game. Tyrone the God 3 out.